Once upon a time, in the ancient Ogbo kingdom nestled along the lush, green hills of southwestern Nigeria, there lived a beautiful and intelligent princess named Isiosa. She was the daughter of Oba Ayamide, a wise and powerful ruler who commanded respect far beyond the borders of his kingdom. Princess Isiosa was admired for her grace and kindness, her beauty unmatched, with skin as radiant as the sun and eyes that sparkled like the stars in the night sky. Isiosa had always been the pride of Ogbo, and her father had grand plans for her future. Suitors from all corners of the land came to seek her hand in marriage, hoping to forge alliances and strengthen ties with the great kingdom. But Isiosa's heart belonged to someone her father would never approve of, a young warrior named Ekinwell. Ekinwell was not of royal blood, he was the son of a blacksmith, a commoner by birth. However, he was no ordinary man. His bravery in battle was legendary, and his skill with the sword had earned him the respect of warriors and elders alike. He was tall, with a strong, muscular frame, and his spirit was as fierce as the tiger that roamed the forest. His love for Isiosa was deep and true, and it blossomed in secret, away from the prying eyes of the court. They met in the dense forest on the outskirts of the kingdom, where the trees whispered ancient secrets and the air was thick with the scent of blooming flowers. It was there, under the cover of night, that their love grew. They would sit by the river, the moon casting silver light on the water, and speak of dreams, hopes, and a future they knew could never be. Princess Isiosa knew that her father had arranged for her to marry Prince Adedeo, the son of a neighboring king, to solidify a powerful alliance. The thought of it filled her with dread, for while Prince Adedeo was noble and handsome, her heart had long since been given to Ekinwell. Torn between duty and love, Isiosa struggled with the burden of her secret. One fateful night, as the winds howled through the forest, Ekinwell and Isiosa met by the river for what they feared would be the last time. Ekinwell held her close, his heart heavy with sorrow. "Isiosa, my love," he whispered, "I cannot bear the thought of you marrying another. Let us run away, far from here, where no one can find us. We can build a life together, away from the chains of duty." Tears welled up in Isiosa's eyes as she looked into the eyes of the man she loved. The weight of her responsibility pressed down on her like a heavy stone, but the thought of leaving Ekinwell was too much to bear. "I cannot defy my father's will, Ekinwell," she said, her voice trembling. "But I cannot live without you. What shall we do?" As they spoke, they did not realize that they were being watched. One of the palace guards, loyal to the Oba, had followed the princess, suspicious of her late-night excursions. He hurried back to the palace to inform the king of what he had seen. The next morning, the Oba summoned Isiosa to his chambers. His face was stern, and his eyes burned with anger. "Isiosa," he thundered, "I have heard disturbing news. Is it true that you have been consulting with a commoner? With Ekinwell?" Isiosa fell to her knees, tears streaming down her face. "Father, please forgive me. It is true. I love him with all my heart." Oba Ayamide's rage was like a storm. "You are a princess. Your duty is to your people, to your kingdom. This love is forbidden. You will marry Prince Adedeo as planned, and you will forget about this foolishness." The princess was heartbroken, but she knew she could not defy her father. The days leading up to her wedding were a blur of sorrow, her heart aching with the thought of leaving Ekinwell forever. On the eve of the wedding, Isiosa and Ekinwell met one final time in the forest. They embraced, knowing that this would be their last moment together. As they stood by the river, they made a solemn vow under the light of the moon. "If we cannot be together in this life," Isiosa whispered, "then let our souls find each other in the next. Our love will not be bound by the laws of man." With heavy hearts, they parted ways, each knowing that their love would live on even if they could not. The next day, Princess Isiosa married Prince Adedeo in a grand ceremony filled with music, dance, and celebration. But while the kingdom rejoiced, Isiosa's heart remained heavy, her thoughts always drifting back to the warrior she had left behind. Ekinwell, too, left Ogbo Kingdom, choosing to wander the lands as a lone warrior, his heart carrying the memory of the love he had lost. Though they were separated by fate, their souls remained intertwined, their love eternal and unbroken. And so, the tale of Princess Isiosa and Ekinwell became a legend in Ogbo Kingdom, a story whispered by the elders and sung by the bards. It was a story of forbidden love, of duty and sacrifice, and of two hearts that, though torn apart in life, would forever be united in spirit.